This month, I just absolutely could not make the numbers work on the page. And it's not because my math was wrong. It was just because I was wanting us to live off of a lesser amount than we're actually being able to live off of. So in this video, it's not, I would say this is not our best and most frugal budget, but it's what I came up with this month. And you know what? Any plan for your money is better than no plan for your money. Hey everybody, and welcome back to Lining Up Ducks. Today is our December Budget With Me video. I've decided I'm going to start filming our budget and cash stuffing videos a little bit different. We're going to have a single budget video at the beginning of the month, and then our cash stuffing videos throughout the month. And what that's going to enable me to do is plan a little bit farther ahead in my budget. That way, when it comes to payday, all I have to do is get the money out of the account. I'm a little late with our December budget video, but it's been a month. But I always feel like I say that to y'all. I'm a mom of 4. It's a wild and crazy time as far as Christmas goes, balancing families, balancing my business of my YouTube channel and my website. So it's been a little bit nuts. We're still trying to find our new finance groove about where we are in our budget, what we need to save for, and all that kind of stuff. And I'm really hoping when it comes time for our January 2021 budget, we will have that figured out.
Okay guys, so this is the very first month of me using our new Money Made Easy planner. And I have a couple of new forms for our budget planner. And so now there are 4 sheets per month. And so I'll kind of go over these with you as I'm doing the new budget. But this is the December look ahead. So what I did in our November budget as I was working, as I was thinking ahead to December, so I went ahead and set some goals for the month. And my first goal was Vlogmas, 24 videos in 24 days. Well, that's not happening. So my hat's off to those YouTubers that are daily vloggers. You are like rock stars. Can't do it. I have learned I am not a vlogger. I am a, much more, anyway, it's not me. The other thing was to do the Sophie Superheroes fundraiser, and I'll talk more about Sophie Superheroes in the upcoming year. But if you are interested, I talked about it a little bit in our budget planner release that is linked in this video and in the description box below. Also in this new form are places for things that I need to remember in our upcoming monthly budget. So I got a speeding ticket, and if you missed that video, I'll link it in the description box or up here, depending on how many videos I talk about during this one. So I got a speeding ticket here, so I've got to plan for it here, and then I've got to plan for it in this budget and probably the next one. We've got a Christmas trip coming up, and I'm not exactly sure how much that's going to cost, but I think our Christmas budget is going to pretty much cover all of that. And then these are some things that we needed to focus on in our budget. Our dog needed a smaller cage because she was having lots of potty accidents at night. And so I knew that was going to cost about $22. And then we needed some slide jacks for our RV. And I knew that was going to be about $75. And then this is like things that we might want. We do want an outside table for our space. Scott is getting one for Christmas, so that took care of this. So anyway, and then any notes, like for example, if you borrowed from one fund because you were completely out and you had an emergency, that's where you would put this. So you would make sure that you reimbursed your thing. For me, having an ADHD brain, having a specific space to write down notes that I know are going to affect my upcoming budget has been invaluable. I love this new page. All right. Next is our layout for our December budget. Nothing has changed in the new layout. The only thing that I'm going to be doing differently as far as our budget planning videos go is I'm going to start each of our monthly budgets with just our base income, because my income comes in randomly and so does Scott's travel pay and things like that. So this is our base monthly budget, and pretty much anything else that goes in this is going to be extra and on top of that. A lot of it's going to go to savings, and I'm thinking about doing a budget recap in the month that will show you what extra came in and where it went to as far as budget categories or savings, things like that.
Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. At Lining Up Ducks, we make videos about all things family finance and doing life differently in a social media driven world.
So income for this month, Scott makes about takes home about $49.96 per month, and it's split up into bi-weekly pay cycles. So week 1 and week 3 are the weeks that we get paid, and then he gets a National Guard check every single month depending on if they have drill. This is a 2-day drill, so it's a standard check, and so it's $7.55. I usually like to put this in the extra column because I never know exactly what week it's going to come in, and I never like to depend on it specifically because I can't ever guarantee if his orders are going to be put in correctly and if it's actually going to come in. One of the things that we're going back to in our budgets is tithing 10%. Tithing has always been a big part of our budget, and we kind of fell out of it towards the end of our savings journey and during our move. And that's something we're putting back in as a priority in our budget. So this month we're tithing $5.25, and so $2.25 is coming out of Scott's regular pay each pay period, and then the extra will be the $75 out of his drill money. Next, we're moving down to our regular bills. So these are things like your rent, your cell phone, gasoline, childcare, things like that, things that you have on a regular basis. So we have our RV in an RV park that our rent for that is $475 a month, and that includes all of our utilities. If you've never seen one of our budget videos before, we do our family budget based off of a month ahead fund. If you don't know what a month ahead fund is or don't know kind of how that works in a budget, please check out this video. I explain it in detail, and then there's a separate video that is linked in that one where it talks about how much you may need in your month ahead fund. What this basically, we pay this month's expenses off of last month's money. And what that has allowed us to do is to take a biweekly pay cycle, which can be really kind of, it really varies as to what week of the month it comes in, depending on what month you're in. And it allows us to have balance in our month and not have a super bill heavy pay period and a super, other things heavy pay period. I'm able to balance our month, and that has been absolutely invaluable as far as keeping us on budget and not feeling, restrictive. So our rent is $475 per month, and then right now for football season, my husband has Hulu, but that's going to be out of our budget coming in the next month, thankfully. Our cell phone is $90 a month because we have mobile hotspots, because we don't have internet where we are currently, and our mobile hotspots aren't working that great because I've been uploading a lot of videos, so we're going to have to figure that out in the upcoming. If you are a traveling family, let me know how you do your internet and what company seems to be working best for you, because right now we're on Cricket and it works great when we're in town, but where we are currently, it's not super great service. All right, our gasoline, it has gone up where we live. We were $300 a month for gas, and that pretty much covered everything. And now we've had to bump it up to $3.50. I am easily going through a tank of gas every week or more. Really probably every 4 days, going to and from the girls' school. So my gasoline consumption has gone up drastically. We have Oops Money in our budget, which we do this as a cash envelope. If you've never heard of Oops Money, it basically is I need to go get milk and I don't have my cash envelope with me. You pay for the milk out of your out of your Oops Money, and then when you come home, you take the grocery money and you put it back into your Oops Money. It has transformed the way we do cash budgeting. Keeping that Oops Money in cash instead of in our bank account keeps us accountable and keeps us from just saying, oh, we'll just use the account this one time. Next is my little one's preschool and our older kids' school. I put our little one in preschool 3 days a week so I can work on my business. And then our bigs go to private school. The schools aren't the greatest where we are, so we chose to put them in private school, and it has been a wonderful choice. We love their school, but it is a swift kick in the budget every month. So we thankfully can break that up due to our month ahead fund and separate out $445 every pay period to put that. Now, this is actually a little more, but my dad is very generous and he contributes $150 a month for our kids to do activities. And since we have decided not to do activities this year because of COVID, we have him putting that on our girls' school tuition this year, which has been a really huge help. Our car insurance is next, which is $132. That is one of the things that I want to focus on getting down this month, one of the things I want to focus on getting down in our future budgets because I feel like it's a little bit high for what we have. Then we have storage. Right now we are a full-time RV family. When we were getting out of our apartment, we did have some overflow things that we had not really kind of planned for, some family antiques and things like that we were intending on keeping. But as we have lived in our RV for a little while, we are ready to get rid of our storage, and we have kind of farmed out all of the family antiques. And I cannot wait to get that out of our budget too. We've got to let a few things happen within the family before we can actually get that out of our budget. Next is RV propane. It's winter, so we are going through more propane than we would in the summer. We probably went through more propane in 1 month than we did in 3 months, in the 4 months that we've been here, just with the cold drop in temperatures. So hopefully this will balance out once we can break it out into an annual budget. Next is my lovely speeding ticket. Yes, I've never gotten, well, actually, I have gotten a speeding ticket before, but it's been a number of years ago. So you see I've budgeted $114 to come out of this month, and I'll have the rest of it come out of next month. Or if Scott gets any extra pay, I'll have that come out of that month. And actually, I haven't even gotten anything in the mail yet to have how to pay it. So I've got to figure that out. Next is doTERRA. Right now, we are managing one of my daughter's ADHD symptoms with essential oils, and her teacher says it's working great. Just until she gets a little bit older. I'm a firm believer in ADHD medication. I've taken it all my life, but I do want my little one to get a little bit older first. Oh, she was running low, so these were her oils for this month. I like to budget each week in a different color because it helps me kind of, if every single week on the page is filled up, it can get a little bit busy. So it helps me make sure to focus on the correct week. That way I don't make a mistake when I'm transferring money or separating out cash envelopes. Okay, next is our cash envelopes. Scott and I both get personal money every month, and that includes our lunch money. And Scott and I both get personal money every month, and that includes our lunch money as well as our MAD money. Right now we get $20 a week in lunch money and $20 a pay period in MAD money. And that is absolutely essential to marriage budgeting. If you are budgeting with a partner and you are having difficulty with spending on the other person's part, Scott and I, just like many married couples, are very opposite when it comes to our budgeting methods and our spending. So probably 15 years ago, we started giving each other money that was no questions asked money. And that now is our personal money and our clothes money, which is over on the other page. Next is our restaurant money. Normally it's $100 for the month, but this is December and I have 4 kids and I'm going to need a bigger easy button than I normally have. So we have $200, which will be $50 a week for eat out money. Being a family of 6, it's hard to even go through drive-through for less than $50, but it does really help as far as having an easy button during the holiday season. Our groceries are $600 a month. We try to keep it to $100 per month per person or $300 per pay period. So 2 months of the year we do get an extra $300, which is great for pantry stocking. Next is our dog Maxie, and that is where this page comes in super handy. I put her extra $22 there. So she got an extra $22 on top of her food, toy, and her bone money. So this is kind of just her daily type of money. Next is our family adventure category. We are going to lower this in the coming months, but I wanted to kind of stock it up a little bit. So we had a bit of a family adventure category to start with. One of our main focuses of moving into a smaller lifestyle was to be able to do more fun family adventures. And as a family of 6, things of course cost more. We do a lot of free things, but it was really important that we do have the ability to do things here and there that do cost money. So we have been putting a little bit extra in this for the last 2 months. Next is school lunch. Because the kids are getting out and Mama has dropped the ball on sending in their lunch order forms for the last week or so, we don't have any school lunch for this month. So score for Mama's forgetfulness. Next is household needs. This is normally considerably less, but like I said, we needed slide jacks for our large living room slide. We went ahead and bumped that up for this particular month and pulled that all out for the slide jacks in the first pay period. Our paper products and garbage bags and things like that, I handle all in the grocery budget. This is really only things that we need for the household. So any type of decor, any like wood for our fire, or any type of outside item, like we needed a new hose pipe a couple of weeks ago. So those kind of things go in our household needs. Scott isn't going to need a new haircut for the next couple of weeks because he's going to be off for the Christmas season, which is fantastic. He is taking some much needed vacation. On over to our sinking funds. I'm really debating simplifying our sinking funds for the next year, but I haven't decided if I'm going to or not. But right now, these are what our sinking funds are, and we are sticking with them through the end of the year. So our kids' clothing is $40 per month or $20 per pay period. We have been passing down, we have 4 little girls ages 8, 6, 4, and 3. And so we've been able to pass down their clothes, which is wonderful. But things are beginning to wear out a little bit, especially as they get towards the third and the fourth kid. Our third especially is a really hard player, and she's pretty hard on clothes. So we are probably going to have to up our kids' clothes budget over the next year. Car repairs is next. We have been pretty happy with that $100 a month figure. It paid for a really big expense for Scott when his air conditioner went out this year. I'm going to need a couple of new tires this year, so we're going to keep that at $100 a month going forward, and hopefully that will build up enough that we can have any major car expenses taken care of. Both of our cars are over 75,000 miles, but my husband's car is at 140,000 miles, so we definitely budget in a little bit extra for car repairs. Our life insurance is paid quarterly. This is another thing I would like to get down in the future. So our life insurance right now, we pull out $104 a month, but it's paid quarterly. So that's just our sinking fund to save for it. Scott and I each right now get $40 a month in clothes. We gave each other a little bit extra in clothes money this last few months of the year because we didn't take any clothes money in the beginning 9 months of the year. So we've given ourselves a few things extra. As a mom of 4 and a couple of really messy toddlers, my things especially were beginning to wear out. I hadn't bought new clothes in a couple of years. We are saving for a Disney cruise. Slowly but surely, we will get there. In addition to this $34 a month that we put in our Disney cruise, we save all of our ones and change and this huge Coke bottle that sits in our den. And to remind us of our savings goal, the kids love putting all of the ones and change in there at the end of every day or at the end of every week whenever I remember to clean my purse out. And we are working really hard on getting that. It's probably going to take us a couple of years. Next is our RV repair fund. And just like any home that you own, an RV requires repair work. So this is our sinking fund to save for RV repairs. And right now that's $50 a month. Then we have gifts. These are all of our gifts aside from Christmas. So birthdays, anniversaries. As you can imagine, in a family of 6, we have lots of those. Next is Sophie's surgeries. So we have a daughter with medical special needs that requires her to have surgery every 3 months, and we have to travel to Houston. So we do have health insurance, and our health insurance and our HSA usually cover the medical portion of that. This is just the amount of travel expenses that we have when it comes to airlines, hotels, and food. Sometimes car, things like that. It just depends on whether the Ronald McDonald House is accepting new visitors for the COVID season, and right now they're not. So this is pretty high right now. But her next surgery is coming up in January, so we're definitely saving hard for that. Christmas is $100 a month, and right now this is kind of a perpetual envelope for us. We save for Christmas all year long, so even though Christmas is just a couple of weeks away, I'm still going to continue this $100 a month, and it's just going to go and roll over to next year's Christmas budget. Scott has drill once a month and plus another class that he's taking for his promotion. And sometimes when the colonel says you have to go to lunch with them, you have to go to lunch, whether you brown bagged your lunch or not. So he has drill food money that he gets for his drill weekends. Then we have our car tags. Mine is due. That's a good reminder that I need to go and get that done. And then we have started a sinking fund for Maxie's veterinary care because she's going to need shots and things like that in the upcoming year. Right now, we are taking advantage of the no student loan payments just to kind of get our sinking funds ahead. And that, I believe, is supposed to start back in February of next year. It was just extended through the end of January. So that's going to be coming up really soon. We should know what Scott's new payment is going to be. We're on an income-based repayment plan, and we should know what that payment's going to be hopefully soon. All right, right now, the government is not taking payroll taxes out of our paycheck. That would be FICA taxes, so your Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, things like that. I cannot see the government saying, hey, just keep the money. We don't want our paychecks to be negative in the coming year when they decide that we need to pay all of that money back. And the way it was explained to us in Scott's, in the letter that the government sent out to Scott when he works for the government, it said basically they're going to start deducting that amount additionally out of their January paychecks. So we've just been putting it aside to make sure that we are not negative in our monthly budget when it comes to our future months. All right, I have not done our income totals and things like that down here yet because our income is not complete for the month. But right now, this is pretty much our living expenses budget. This is all of our sinking funds, all of our bills, utilities, cash envelopes, things like that. This is right now in this month our must-haves. Let me know in the description boxes below if any of the categories I mentioned that I want to be reducing. If you have any ideas to help me reduce those categories, I'm always looking for new ideas to reduce expenses.
All right, everybody, that's it for today. Because I filmed this video late, you missed the first cash stuffing of the month, but no worries. I've got another cash stuffing coming your way that we already prepared for in this video. As always, it is a joy and a blessing to have you in our lives and in our home. Thank you so much for watching. Merry Christmas, and we'll see you next time.